Hey, YouTube family and GN subs. Hope you are having a wonderful week and getting through it. I got some good updates for you to get you through the week and to get you into the weekend. All righty, we have a lot to unpack. Good policy coming out of USCIS and State Department. Got some real interesting stuff for you. Hey, those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Humberto, attorney at law. I am here in sunny Southern California on the west side, Los Angeles. And I bring you good news. That's what I do. We have a lot of good news today. Make sure you like and subscribe, become a GN sub. And what I do is I answer your questions in the comments section. If you're a sub, I answer your questions. So throw them at me. I answer tons of questions weekly. And hey, so we got a lot to unpack today. Let's get at it. All right, so the U.S. consulate, when you are requesting a non-immigrant visa, an O visa, P visa, etc., and you have a prior removal, that is a prior deportation, there is something called a 212A9 bar. Generally, you can't come back for 10 years without a waiver. So the consulate is requiring both a 212D3 waiver. That's a waiver for non-immigrants. We have other videos. We've talked about the magical 212D3 waiver. It's a really good waiver for non-immigrant visas. And there's an I212 waiver. Generally, that is used in connection with an immigrant visa. When you're coming to get a green card and you have a prior deportation, you go ahead and you use the I212, okay? So the consulate for non-immigrant visas have been requiring both the 212D3 and the I212 waiver. That is not the law. Here is the law. I put a link in the description box. It says clearly with the Foreign Affairs Manual that for non-immigrant visas, only a 212D3 waiver is required. Remember, a 212D3 waiver, pretty simple stuff. You put together in a letter all the positive factors versus the negative factors why you were removed, and you can get a waiver and come on a non-immigrant visa without the timing of an I-212 waiver, which takes time. You generally file that at the district office where you will live in the U.S. So that's a really good clarification of a policy rule. I put a link in the description box below for the rule in the FAM. I also put the rules of 212A9 and also 212D3 waivers and I-212 waivers. So you can find with the links below all of the law so you can be successful in getting that non-immigrant visa at the U.S. consulate abroad. All right, we have good news at the border. Russians are being granted asylum at the border. There's tons of news stories. You can check it out. So generally at the borders, officers have discretion for expedited removal. Right? So because they were removing so many people, they made a new policy of what's called credible fear. At the border, you can claim credible fear of persecution. It's a lower standard. You can come into the U.S. Then generally what happens is you file with USCIS. USCIS generally makes a negative decision, and then it goes to court for a judge to determine what the asylum is. That's the general process. Well, under current policy, it seems that at the border, officers are exercising more discretion to actually grant asylum cases. So this is a very interesting twist. It's happening, folks. So, check it out. If you have family members that are at the border, you can let them know that they can also claim asylum or request that the officer adjudicate their asylum claim. So it'll go from entering as an asylee versus entering and then going through the whole process to get asylum, which takes at minimum 5 years or so. All right, so that's a good tidbit of information for you. All right, lastly, I-90 is a form where you replace your green card, okay? Generally, when you file an I-90, you get the receipt. It automatically extends your green card for a year. Well, there's a rule that went into place September 2022, last month, just recent, whereby your green card is extended for 24 months. So that's great stuff, folks. You don't have to go down, stand in line at the InfoPass appointment, and get what's called an I-551 stamp in your passport. It's automatically extended. You can travel with your passport, your receipt of the I-90, and your green card that has expired, automatically extended for 24 months. 2 years, so you should get the new green card within that time frame. All right, YouTube family and GN subs, thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. You can contact me at hrg at graylaw.com and get a consultation. All right, we'll see you next time.